Leeds United 0, Burnley 1. And I'm not going to sit here wasting time talking rubbish. We should have won that game. First of all, the ref was absolutely appalling. But most of all, we were appalling in front of goal. Defensively, again, comical. All it takes is one or two passes, one mistake up the pitch, which happened to be Solomon slipping on his ass this time. He does that, falls face first, and what happens? Bang. One attack. Our defense parts like Moses in the Red Sea, absolutely crumbles, and they get their one opportunity and they take it. But before that, they shouldn't have even been in the game. They shouldn't. I don't even need to go into the attempts. What was it like? 18 shots to 7 shots. Flipping. How many more we got on target than them? XG through the roof. Nonto missing a gilt-edged sitter. Joseph missing 2 gilt-edged sitters. Leeds just wasting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. Just throwing it away. Just completely abandoning all care of the result, of the pride of winning the match of football. And just not even, it looks like they haven't even had shooting practice, some of these guys. Like, it's ridiculous. You could go down to Hackney Marshes and find better finishers than you have at Leeds United. And I'm not just singling out Joseph. As I said, Nonto missed a sitter as well. We were lining up for shots for days. The amount of times we were just pinging the ball around the outside of their box sideways. No cutting edge. We're like a blunt flipping butter knife trying to cut through a Wagyu steak. It's not happening, mate. It's not happening, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And this was a big test for Leeds United today. It was a big test for Leeds. We sat there and we asked ourselves, listen, is this a time where Leeds United are going to actually deliver against the big sides? Is this an opportunity for Leeds to kick on? We saw us beat Hull. We saw us put a pretty drab performance in against West Brom. We lost to Middlesbrough. We drew to Portsmouth. But you started to think, especially with the Hull game and the Sheffield Wednesday game, we're starting to build a bit of momentum. We're starting to see better patterns of play. We're starting to see players knowing when to move, where to move, how to move. Burnley, this is a good time to get at them. They've had a lot of their squad ravaged. Okay, the international break probably helped them because they brought in a couple of players at the end of the break that had a little bit of time to set in. The likes of Jadon Anthony, who, boy, was he laughing his arse off at us today. Laughing his arse off at the club that didn't want him, the club that didn't want to give him any game time. He's come back and mugged us off. And I hope this ain't a Leif Davis situation where they get promoted over us and he sat there flipping laughing at us again. Because we've got a track record of that. A seriously bad track record of that. Seriously bad. Hannibal, a guy who we also came close to potentially signing. Obviously, Man United connection. And he put in a fucking great performance today. A great performance against us. And again, laughed at us. Mugged us off. Stood in front of the family stand, giving it the big un in front of all the kids, mate. Come on. You're letting people mug us off. You're letting people embarrass us because we can't take simple chances. It's the same story. It's the same old story. Yes, I saw improvements. I'm not going to lie to you. I did see improvements. I'm seeing improvements week in, week out. Through certain players individually, looking at Manor Solomon. Fucking incredible. Incredible performance from Manor Solomon today. Really fucking good. Really good. Like, I thought he was decent last game, but today he was a cut above. Every touch was silky. Every time he was turning, he was getting in behind with ease. He was cutting into the middle. He was weaving in and out. The through balls he was playing were beautiful. The runs he were making were storming. And I thought it was only a matter of time before he got himself a goal today. I really thought he was that good. You couldn't touch him. And it's unfortunate that he did slip and give away the free kick for the goal. Not the free kick, sorry, but just slip on his arse and give away the goal. It was a mistake from him. Hopefully people aren't too harsh on him for that because he was a cut above today. He really was. He was the best player on the pitch in my opinion. And unlucky to not get a goal, I thought. And unfortunately some of the people that he was setting up were so profligate and wasteful that it's going to be hard for him to get an assist when you're missing chances like that. But I did think Nonto played well as well. I know, again, he missed sitters, but I thought he played well. I thought the way the team meshed going forward played well, and it went really well, which is where my problem lies. Having Nonto in the middle, drifting outside, Aronson drifting in, Solomon even playing a lot of the time in the 10. It was very fluid. I saw Solomon arguably more centrally at times than Nonto. Nonto would stick out wide. Aronson would swap in and out with Solomon. And I guess that is the benefit of having Aronson in the 10. But what I will say is Aronson did look pretty invisible today. He did look pretty invisible. And that's the past 2 games there. I don't know if it's the fact that Nonto or maybe even Solomon now are trying to play too centrally. And it's forcing Aronson out wide. And he can't quite cut it in that wide berth. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's not. But he has gone missing a little bit over the past couple of games. Maybe I'm reading into that too much. I want to know what you guys have to say. Do you think I'm reading into that? Do you think I'm making something big out of nothing? Or has he gone missing a little bit? Is it something that potentially you need to look at as a Leeds fan? Something a little bit alarming? I thought so, at least, anyway. But finally, before we do end off, I did want to touch on Mateo Joseph. He's going to come under a lot of stick today, a lot of criticism. We spoke the other day. I was speaking to a lot of you guys, and we were talking about Mateo Joseph. And I was asking the question to a few of you. I said, listen, can we hang our hat on Mateo Joseph for this whole season? I'm not saying we can't. I'm here to ask the questions, all right? Can we hang our hat on Mateo Joseph for an entire season? That's the question. Mateo Joseph. Is he too wasteful? Is he too raw? Is he too young? Do you need an experienced striker who can play alongside him, or can come in and take the brunt off him, who can start a few games, get the pressure off him? Is that what's needed? Because he's going to come under worlds of pressure now, and now you're really going to see what he's made of. Hopefully it's not too much pressure. Hopefully it doesn't crack him. I don't think it will. I think he's made of sterner stuff than that. But hopefully it's not too much pressure too soon for Mateo Joseph. That's the one fear that you could potentially have with Mateo Joseph. But again, he was wasteful. He was profligate. He did miss a good few chances. Were there positive spells in his game? Yes. Was he pressing phenomenally? Yes. Was he moving in and out of the spaces in the channels? Yes. But he was very wasteful. And if you don't fix that sooner or later, it's going to come to bite you. So that's the one problem and the one fear people have, and justifiably so with him. But what I will say, there was a moment where Solomon ignited the press high up on that left-hand side of the pitch. Ignited the press very high up, and Joseph was straight there with him. Straight there with him. Fucking quality stuff from Joseph. Straight in there like swimwear, and just completely pressing them down. Straight on them the second that Solomon ignited the press. And that's exactly what you need. You cannot press alone in football. You need someone to be there with you. And Joseph was that person today. And that is why, for me, I'll keep him in the side no matter what. Because that is more important for me right now than him missing a few chances. Because I do think that confidence and that composure will come with time. But let me know what you guys think anyway down in the comment section down below. What do you think of the game? What do you think of Joseph? What do you think of the whole team? Let me know your man of the match, of course, as well. But disappointing result against Burnley. But we move, don't we? Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.